Hey, welcome back to the podcast, Evil Dungeon Master Universe podcast. It is Friday. The weekend is upon us. It's going to be gaming for most people, especially me. I'll be playing some solo games this weekend when I have some time. I'm going out this weekend with the wife, hopefully having a good time. And then next week will be a short week because of 4th of July. So there'll be no podcast on the 4th of July holiday along with Friday and because I'll be busy dealing with family and having fun with family and celebrate our independence. Yay. Anyway, so hopefully you're enjoying the podcast. And I see a lot of people comment all the time on it. It is just comment. It's funny. Some people are telling stories in their comment about the podcast, which I enjoy those things the most. And don't forget to like the videos and go to Spotify and rate the podcast as well. Ask the DM at theevildm.com. And theevildm.com is my website. I got an email here today that from Jessica. Well, it's not an email. I should say it's from Facebook, Jessica, and she says that you do play a lot of solo role playing, as you keep talking about in your podcast and on your YouTube channel. And I see you do play some co-ops with your friend Jeff all the time. I was wondering if you could tell me about one of your solo games you've been playing recently, because you don't talk about those much. Well, all right. Well, I could tell you about one, and it's about Army of Darkness, because I just recently did a video, Army of Darkness character creation overview, which will come out this weekend, tomorrow, because I have it up for members right now. And I've been recently getting back into playing the game of Army of Darkness. It's a very simple and wonderful system of D10, add an attribute and usually a skill, or double an attribute and roll a D10. And that's basically how many successes you get, and boom, done. You look on the chart, it'll tell you how many successes, and then that's how you base your whole everything off of. It's just easy enough to play. You don't have to think about it more than once. It's a lot of fun. So I'm playing Army of Darkness. I decided to set the adventure in the Ash vs. Evil Dead universe. So I mean, I really enjoyed the TV show. I really enjoy Evil Dead universe in itself. I've always been a big fan since I've seen the original movie way back when. Yeah, it was originally a horror movie that turned into a horror comedy, which turned into, I guess, just comedy horror. I don't know how to really say it. It's just comedic horror, maybe. I don't know. Goofy horror. I have no idea. I enjoy it. I enjoy the lore. I enjoy the character that Bruce Campbell has put forward with Ash. I enjoy the universe that he and Sam Raimi have put together. Just it's really interesting. Anyway, my character was named John D'Angelo. He's an ordinary person living in his town. I put him in South Dakota. And I just picked a random state, honestly. And unbeknownst to my character, he is an offspring of Ash, Ash Williams. Why and how is this possible? Well, if you watched Ash vs. Evil Dead series, you will know that Ash often donated to the sperm bank. And while on the TV show, that's right, on the TV show, all of the donations in that entire sperm bank were destroyed. That does not mean between all the years that he went there that some of those samples did not get out there. And why would someone pick Ash's sample? Who knows? It's just, I just thought it'd be interesting that he has children out there that he doesn't know about due to the sperm donation, and this was part of the storyline for my character to figure this out. So his mother used this sperm bank in Elk Grove, Michigan, of all places, to impregnate herself and have a child. Interesting there, right? I just thought it'd be kind of an interesting story to tell. So John, basically, I decided that John was starting to have mysterious dreams about a small town in Elk Grove. He didn't really know it was Elk Grove at first, but as I was rolling and doing rooms and everything like that, he kept being visited by a strange man with a giant hair and giant mustache. Basically, it was Pablo from the TV series. And Pablo was telling him in these dreams that he felt that John needed to come find him in Elk Grove, Michigan. The fate of the world was in his hands, and he come help. They needed his help. It was kind of one of those vivid dreams from out of nowhere. Decided that after John had one of his last dreams, he decided to do a little research and look up Elk Grove. And he found it after doing some Googling research, and that there was a man who was pretty famous from Elk Grove called Ash Williams, who was also known as Ashy Slashy. He wasn't sure why he had to go there, but he knew that this Pablo character, well, he didn't know his name was Pablo, he just knew he was this mysterious character, kept beckoning him to go there, and the fate of the world was in his hands. So he decided to pack up a weekend bag, and head from South Dakota to Elk Grove, Michigan. Once he got inside Elk Grove, Michigan, I started doing some rolls and doing some mysterious smoke would show up, and he would see this mysterious man show up. The smoke would basically lead him to the hardware store. He met the man that he saw in his dreams and had a conversation. At first, he was a little taken back and shocked seeing this man that he saw in his dreams in the store, but then once he spoke to him for a few minutes, Pablo explained that he was the son of the promised one, the great one, Ashley Williams, and he inherited his father's destiny to fight the Deadites. John was very skeptical about this and also didn't want to be related to Ashy Slashy, or psychopathic killer, according to the newspaper. But Pablo spoke to him and told him that he was a brujo, a spiritual guide, and he was expecting John all this time. After some minor convincing and showing him a few things here and there, John skeptically decided that he wanted to the cause. So what the cause was they needed to figure out what happened to Ash, and they needed to retrieve the Necronomicon at this point, which has been dispersed around everywhere. The book was taken by the old ones, or I should say the dark ones as they called them, the dark ones, but supposedly the book had exploded. Well, I decided that the book exploded when the dark ones fully formed it back together and decided to chant some of the magic out of the book in a way of protection. The original dark one, Ruby, put in a contingency plan in there when the book was reformed. If she was not part of the ceremony, the book would, in her defense, explode and disperse the papers throughout the world or planes of existence, whatever. I haven't fully decided that part yet. And now it was John and Pablo's turn to recover these pages before the Dark Ones could, or Ruby at this point, so that they could stop the evil threat from happening in the world, and along the way use the book to find himself. I thought the Army of Darkness role-playing game was perfect for because not only is it to learn, all the heavy lifting is done as far as the Evil Dead universe is. Well, I should say most of it's done, because when they wrote this book, it was only based upon the Army of Darkness movie itself, which at the time was only 93. And this book was written in about 99, probably 98. By the time it got published, it was almost 2000. So this lore in the book was mainly based upon lore that has been changed probably at this point. If you count the comic books and all that, I don't know if comic books are considered canon in this universe, but the comic books have changed quite a bit. Also, the Ash vs. Evil Dead series itself changed a lot of things along the way. We also got a couple other movies in there that may have changed the lore as well. So it's a little outdated, but the general principle of everything of the TV show and the universe is there. A lot of the heavy lifting is done for you, so it's perfect to use for this type of game. Playing the game, I have to say, was a blast. I didn't really get into any combat because there was no real combat-y type things. It was mostly just me having my conversation with Pablo and doing some investigative work to figure out all the things that I needed to do. It was a very short session of about an hour and a half. Got some good fun going on, and I want to continue the game hopefully soon, but I don't know when I'm gonna have time to do it. But that's the good thing about solo role playing, is that you can pick it up whenever you want, and I think solo role playing is also perfect for someone like me. And as one of my buddies Sal would say, gaming HDD, gaming hyper deficit disorder, like ADHD, but for gamers, because you want to play a game, but then you want to play another game because then you get a cool idea and you want to play this game. It's something that Sal would joke about, and he would say both of us have that whole, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, no, I want to do this, and you play it. So solo role playing is perfect for someone like me. I could play a game for an hour or so, scratch that itch, jump to another game, scratch that itch, jump to another game, scratch that itch, go back to the original game, play that again. And it's perfect because you don't have to worry about your group going, why are we playing so many games? Because a lot of people don't like playing a lot of games, and they only want to play one game. And I don't blame someone. They want to get play one game. They want to get invested in a character, and they don't want to jump from game to game to game. When I grew up playing games, I jumped from game to game to game to game like every day. Like I said, we used to play in my friend's basement after school every day. We play one day Turtles, one day Villains and Vigilantes, another day Marvel, another day Heroes, D&D. We would jump back and forth to all these different games, different depending on who was running the game, and we had fun. And I guess that actually I didn't realize that we did. That's how we played. Nowadays, I mean, now I'm playing one game at a time, and sometimes I have that itch. I want to play this. I want to play that. I could play my Army of Darkness or Evil Dead game and jump to a Call of Cthulhu solo game and also play a fantasy game at the same time, and I don't have to worry about someone saying, "Oh, we're playing another game. I have to learn another rule set." I don't know. I can't stand that. I don't like when people are just stuck in one game. I get you want to focus on one character and focus and have fun. I'm all for that. But when that campaign ends, it's time for another. Not just like the people who just want to play 5e. That's all they want to play. It's like open your horizons and play different games, learn different experiences, and then go back. If your go-to is, I don't know, say GURPS, for example, because I could see the book across the room, that's why I picked that, and you like playing GURPS, play GURPS. Once the campaign's done, move to something else, and then come back to GURPS, because you recharge, I call it recharging your battery. Your favorite game is GURPS, your favorite game is D&D, play it. Play it until it's done, and then come back to it after playing it, after not playing another game. Recharge your battery on your favorite game. It makes you appreciate the original game more when you come back to it after break. If you just do campaign after campaign after campaign after campaign of the same game over and over again with just different characters, it becomes boring, at least in my opinion. You may think differently out there. Hopefully you kind of share the same opinion as me, but you know what? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion and can do whatever they want. All right. With that said, I'm going to head out. Hopefully you enjoyed the story of my solo RPG adventure for Army of Darkness. I'm going to head out. Keep it original, keep it old school. God bless, and don't forget, there is no drama, no clickbait, all gaming here on this channel. Tonight is the live stream for members, which will go live a couple days later. Good night, everyone.